What's up, guys? So I wanted to give you a quick update before I go racing this Friday. I finally got the truck back out to the scale on the drag pack with the nitrous bottle and stuff already in it. So I'll show you guys what it actually weighs, which actually really surprised me because I've got this 200-pound bed cover on it, and I've got like a $40 crate in the back of like some junk from the yard sale. So I'm gonna show you the weight real quick, and we'll see how this thing does Friday. So with no passenger and a quarter tank, somehow we're down to 5360. I'm baffled. Normally I brought it on, I think it was about a quarter to a half tank, in between a quarter and a half. So I'm pretty baffled we ended up getting that much weight out of it, and we still have this heavy bed cover on it and everything. So this cover is pretty heavy, and I'm 200 pounds, so that puts us at 5580. I got this tote. That's all books, so it's about 40 pounds. Got the bottle and everything in there, so.
Yeah, with you on that scale, it's 5580.
5580.
But if you took the ton off, you're looking at...
Dude, I'm probably looking at least 200 pounds on the cover. That brings us back down to 5380, 5360. Shoo, bud. You know, we got the truck weighed. You know, you see what the weight is, which is pretty, it shook me. I took that box of books out, so that's now out of there. Well, I got my data log back from my tuner. He got the results. He said, hey, truck looks great. Let's go ahead and spray it. And I was like, okay. I wasn't even ready. Haven't even got the, I left my keys somewhere, I think, in my pocket. It's like I haven't even got the nitrous finished wired up yet. Like I've got like 2-3 wires left, right? And so I put some time into it real quick. Just actually only like a couple minutes. I didn't put much time into it at all. All I had to do is I went back and reviewed where I had everything. I just had to add the N2MB watt box, the 2 wires in, which goes to, the door's hard to shut, which goes to the relay, or to the solenoid, from the solenoid to the N2MB box to the ground, in which there's one toggle switch under the hood right now. I'm going to fix it. Yes, I know. I'm just trying to hurry up because I got customer stuff to get done. I ain't got hours and hours to spend on this thing right this second. I'll come back and fix it. But I've got to get the tuning part of it done for tomorrow so we can go racing tomorrow. That's still going racing tomorrow. I took the whole day off from other jobs, so we'll make some progress and be able to do that. It runs from ground out of the proton box to the red wire on the N2MB, black wire on the N2MB to a switch so that I can engage it and disengage it, because the watt box is actually going to ground the circuit. So you're feeding 12 volts to the nitrous solenoid all the time, but it only engages whenever the watt box grounds it, because the watt box is not designed to send power. It's only designed to ground. So it'll ground the circuit. And I put a toggle switch on it so that I can run the bottle heater without the nitrous being ready. That way if I'm like merging or something, it doesn't try spraying. Just because I'm merging on the interstate doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to spray it, but I do want the bottle heater on so that it'll be warm and ready for whenever we run. I'm going to turn the camera around, show you real quick the bottle. And so as you can see, the bottle's here, the warmer's on, pressure's coming up. It's still a little bit on the lower side. It's good enough to make a test hit, and it'll get warmer as we drive. It's not as hot as I'd like to see it yet. It's still warm. I think before I do anything else, I'm going to check it and make sure we didn't overpower that relay or that fuse. Make sure that fuse is good. I have no idea what size fuse is in it. I didn't even bother checking. Yeah, let me plug this in too. It takes a second, but better to have it than not. So to check this, I don't have a seizure. All right. So as you can see, that's good. We're good. Here's reworking. We hear that clicking. So as far as I can tell, everything should be good to go. We are ready to spray it. However, I've still got the bottle off. I guess I can go ahead and turn it on now. All right. So now we got our bottle on. Does valve all the way open here. We are now ready to go make our first hit. Oh, and I forgot to charge the draggy again. My goodness, this cover, gosh, I can't tell y'all how heavy this thing cover is. Gotta get that thing off, but at the same time, it's so nice to have a cover. I've got to order another one. We got to go lighter. So the truck's voltage was very low on startup just then, and I didn't even have the key on very long. So you know what that tells us is it's about time to need a battery. I haven't put one on it since I got it. Is that still hooked up? No. I got the truck used 12,000 miles ago roughly. So I have no idea the history of it. I'm trying to learn it as I go. So if it's something that we've got to replace, it's something we got to replace. That's just how maintenance items go. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there though. As of right now, I'm going to go ahead and get the data log pulled up, started. We're going to drive out there. I'm going to make one or two little small pulls. Probably just one really. Just going to make sure the nitrous isn't spraying. And I was going to leave the bottle off to make a hit without it, but anyway. So we got our AFRs there. I'm going to highlight it so that I can see it more easily. I'm going to turn my backlit keyboard off so it doesn't blind me. Turn the lights off inside. Turn off traction control because it's probably going to spin. And I don't want it pulling timing and stuff like that. Got the advanced track disabled, and we are going to go for a ride. On the way out there, Paul called, and he wanted to go, which works really good because I can use him to watch the laptop and let me know if anything goes bad. So, run back to the shop real quick, pick him up, head back out to the spot. We're going to go make our hit, and then we'll go from there. See what she looks like afterward. Caught old Starlink riding by today. Crazy looking. Because of the street lights, I can't get a good view, but that was interesting. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit it, and it should come on at 3,200. Broke up. So I just made the first hit. Turns out, just a second ago, the bottle pressure was so high, the transducer must be bad. It was almost at 1,400 PSI. Oh, I inhaled some of that nitrous when I let the pressure up. Not good. Got the pressure off, just made a first hit. Sorry. It did in fact come on, and come on strong. It felt good for a split second. We were like, wow! So, Paul, if you can watch the data log here, we're gonna.
Still like 1.2.
It'll level out once you get in it. So.
This throat's scratchy now.
Man, here we go. RPM, man?
Yes.
Okay. That's awesome.
Right at the top of the bullet.
Dude, that's gonna make a big difference. Yeah. That was like flooring it times like 2. That was not the normal 150 shot that I'm used to feeling. It come in so much stronger on this truck. So unfortunately on that first pass right there, first hit, the initial, this isn't working, we pulled over. I had to bleed off some line pressure. The bottle heater, apparently the transducer's bad. It beats me. I don't know how that happened, but transducer's bad. Bottle temp went way too far. Ended up going to 1,400 and something PSI. And the solenoids won't open there. And I know that from personal experience before in the past. Normally, on my other car, I had a purge, so I could do, you know, the cool purge everybody loves. And I could bleed off that pressure. I don't have that on this. I didn't wire it in. We just have the nitrous line and the solenoid underneath the truck on the wheel well frame rail thing. So I let the pressure off. As you can tell, I inhaled a bunch of it unintentionally. and now it's got me tore up, so pardon me for that. But unhooked the transducer so the bottle heater would turn off, because they're on the same switch right now, so couldn't really control that individually. Just pulled the wire off, set it to the side, and I bled the pressure off, got it down to about 1150, and just turned around. I said, hey, I'm just gonna stab it real quick. Forgot to turn my phone back on, and on the record, hit it, and wow, we were both just floored. Couldn't believe that it was that impressive. I mean, it was a powerful hit. I'd never really felt one hit that hard before. And so we went out. Then you guys got to see the other log we did, and we hit this thing 2,500 RPM to 6,000, and it sprayed from 32, 33 up to 6. And man, is it stout. And we went ahead, we looked at the log. The AFRs look really good on the top end of the RPM range. On the hit, they're a little wonky, so we may need to change the jetting on the fuel side. But it definitely took it, liked it, did well. We'll get that to the tuner, and then tomorrow, it'll be in a minute for you, we'll get the hopefully a response from him and go make another pull. And tomorrow night we are going racing. So we're going to race at DER test and tune. I'm not going to actually put it in the bracket race. Thought about it, don't really have the time for it right now, so we're just going to go test and tune Friday night. I don't have time to race Saturday, Sunday. I got too much other stuff going on, so we'll hopefully hear back from the tuner tomorrow and make some more progress then. All right, so we're at the shop. I wanted to show you guys how bad these spark plugs were I took out. So the original spark plugs that was in this truck, as far as I know, the original ones from 2011, 12, I don't know. I know nothing about them. All I know is that they were pretty dang bad. So our new plugs, NGK 6510s, are one heat range colder than what these are. These are actually Motorcraft Iridiums. There is a good chance these are the original spark plugs. They were a little tight in there, so it's a very good chance. Having said that, I'm going to show you what kind of condition that they're in. And every one of them is the same, so I'm not going to go through all 8 of them, but they're all sitting here. As you can see, they're all sitting right here. And they're all in about the same condition. Look just how smoked this plug is. Let me see if I can get a better spot to show you. Hooked. See if that'll zoom in for us. Look at that. Just absolutely cooked. See if we can look inside there. Now look at that strap. I mean, it was almost burnt away. There is a big loss of material there. So every one of these plugs looks like that. I don't remember which one was for which cylinder, but you know, I checked the plug gap on all these too, and I mean the plug gap on all these is about the same. And the gap that we're running now is 0.025 millimeters. So on Coyotes, you usually want to be like 0.25, 0.28. Depends on how much power you're making. All that stuff boils down. And then it's whatever your tuner recommends as well. So in this particular application, my tuner said, hey, go ahead and gap them 0.25. They'll open up to 0.28 after the first few heat cycles. I was like, all right, that's the first time I've heard that, but it makes perfect sense. I'm sure it does, but I just normally gap them at whatever they tell me to. And that's what they told me to gap them at this time. So that's what we went with. Remember, always listen to your tuner because they usually know best. They've been doing it for a long time. That's why I outsourced to somebody else to help me with this nitrous stuff especially. I don't know what I'm doing. Then when I go turbo, it's just not worth the headache of trying to learn it all right now. We'll come back. So that's what they told me to do. That's what I did. I went and made the first hits, as you've seen. All that stuff went really well. And I'm talking to him. We may be able to get another hit in today before we go to the track. But tonight is race night. We are going to go test and tune. I don't really have any goals or ambitions for today. I want to go make 2 or 3 NA passes and then turn around and make a couple spray passes and see what actually happens, how much it picks up. I really want 2 or 3 NA passes so I can see the difference between my tuning and their tuning, which I'm sure is going to be huge. Like I said, we were going 1440s on a draggy. Oh, speaking of which, I got to put it on the charger. Before I ever even started tuning on this thing or modifying it. So to go from a 1440 to a 15.6, 16.0, it's not good. But at the same time, who's to say that draggy's right on the street, and who's to say the street's right compared to the track? Because that's the comparison that we're doing. So I think the only way to really get a comparison would be to go out and maybe make a hit today, later today, tomorrow, something, in the same spot, same conditions with their tune, and I'm not putting mine back in it. So I guess it's a moot point at this. It's a mute point now. We're just going to go see what it does at the track. That'll be the night and day difference between how good it runs now versus what I was doing, which I'm sure was not good. So hopefully, I'm optimistic that the truck feels like it's doing good. They got the converter locking up earlier than I did when I was at the track the other night. But if the truck's running better, it shouldn't really matter. And I went 15.6 on those plugs. And who's to say what kind of loss of power and drivability those plugs really had? That was bad. So now that these are in it, they're gapped correctly and everything. And I've made one hit on the nitrous so far, and I'm just like, wow, that was pretty stout. I'm pretty optimistic that we can get back down in the 14s, hopefully bottom 14s in this thing on just motor. And then I'm hoping to pick up over a second on the 150 shot. Normally, on the Mustangs, you would equate 150 shot to about a second. Sometimes just a little over a second, 1.1, 1.2. So I'm hoping to get more like 1.5, 1.7 out of it off the 150 shot, solely because it's so slow. I really think it'll pick up so much torque on the bottom end that it will pick up. So this is my early predictions of what it'll actually run. I'm hoping to go 1450s. I'm hoping to go 1450s NA. That would be me picking up a whole second on tuning, and I really think that that's possible. We've got the two-step launch control now, which hopefully doesn't trick the computer. I hope that ends up working good. Hopefully they've got the torque calculations corrected. I don't even know what to change them to, so I don't know. I just know I've had problems before. So as long as they've got that stuff situated and we can leave off the launch control, I've got it turned up just a hair from what it was. It was at 2,800, now it's at 2,900, and I can still get on it now, especially with the new plugs. It definitely, I maybe get on at 3 now with the new plugs. But we're not going to go hunting for anything more. I'm going to leave it right there. We're going to take it to the track tonight and try to make some adjustments. If it spins, we're going to try to adjust tire pressure. I don't think it's going to spin. I really think it's not going to have any issues at all. I think that tonight, with the prep and stuff that we've got and the way that thing will dead hook on bare asphalt, no burnout, surely to God it's got to do better at the track tonight with it being DER and them having the bracket racing series, and these guys are actually supposed to have good prep down for them guys. So we'll see how things go. Finally made it to the track. About ready to make the first pass in the truck. I'm gonna make the first 2 or 3 passes in A, and I'm gonna get a good comparison number because we haven't yet gotten a good baseline here at the track. So I'm gonna try to get 2 or 3 passes before we start spraying it. Hi.
Hey.
All right, here we go. Weak burnout, but that's all right. I don't need a good one. Doesn't make enough power yet. Problem with the burnout, as expected, close the window so I can talk to you. Problem with the burnout is it's engaging two-step, which I had a feeling would happen. There's the first pass under power for the new tune. We'll get down here and we'll see what the time says, see what it actually ran. I have no idea. I didn't even bother looking at the speedo or anything. I just know that it was nowhere near the 1185 of the truck in front of me. Thank you. 1509. Well, that's a huge improvement over what I ran when I tuned it. but I would really, at 90, so that's another 2 mile an hour and another 6/10 over what I tuned it to do. So the new tune is definitely happy. The spark plugs is definitely happy. That was a big deal. So I'm gonna get this file to the tuner and see if he can look at it. 2117 60 foot. It definitely left better. Is much happier. It left off 2-step. I am gonna try to turn that up a little higher. I'd like to get us in the 2.0s before spraying it. I'm really thinking, well, NA, I really think I didn't put enough converter in it. So, which I know I didn't put enough converter in it. We put a 2B in it, which is a nitrous converter. So, I'm sorry, a turbo converter. So I know for a fact it doesn't have enough converter in it for this setup. But we're gonna see if we can't get maybe an adjustment from our tuner, if we can get a hold of them this afternoon, and try again. I'll be back. All right, as you can see, there's that slip. I figured I'd go ahead and show it to you. I'm gonna go ahead and park and let Paul get the laptop so he can go log his car. Let's go see how that thing runs with the new revised tune. And we got these boys looking slick today. Woo! New center caps because we broke the old ones apparently. Adjust you guys, get you a better ride. All right, sorry about that. That was kind of hectic trying to get me to roll here. Let me get in here, get her on the brake. I stayed in it for the one pass. I might not get another one after that. It was not happy. Something's wrong with the tuning. At 6,000 RPM, it's falling straight on its face and not wanting to shift. Hopefully, the tuner can look at this and get us revised this week. It's gone back into limp mode again. So, we should have a log as soon as 30 seconds from the time it started coming on. It should go away and we should be good. There it is, the log. Now the limp mode's gone, so we're good now. Truck feels good. Hey, I pulled that V6 Mustang hard. Once the nitrous come on, she spun the tire and then took off. I had to work on that. Thanks, buddy. Holy crap. This thing went way faster. Way faster. We went 1351 at 101 mile an hour on the 150 shot. Now, that's me getting really excited. Okay, I'm really excited because it actually went that fast. The reality of it is that's still pretty daggone slow, especially compared to what I'm used to. The reality of it is that is slow, but it's fast considering we just picked up 1.5 seconds on a 150 shot, and it's misfiring after the 8th mile on the back half of the track. And I don't know if you can hear it in the video or not. I hope you can. That'll be nice to be able to have that as video proof, you know. But golly, 1351. This time we went 197 to the 60 foot, 867 to the 8 at 81. Wow. I don't know what happened that pass, but dude, she came alive in the front half. It was not losing to that V6 Mustang, who went 15.005 at 94. His mile an hour wasn't far off from me. 6 or 7 behind me, but man, I'm super stoked. I call that really, really successful for today. 1.5 seconds we picked up on the bottle so far. If the tuner was able to get back to me and we could get a log on this, which, I meant to stop that. If the tuner could get me a log back quicker, it'd be really nice to be able to say, hey, here's the problem. Can you look at that? Let's do it again. But I'm going to call that the night. We got 3 passes, 2 on spray, 1 in A. We ended up cutting down from a 1509 to a 1351. So I know I keep harping on that, saying it, but that's it. That's the end result for the night. I'm calling it quits there. That's it for this truck tonight. We're going to try to see if we get some more squeezed passes out of Paul's car. We're going to try to see if we can squeeze some more passes out of Paul's car and Chris's car, I reckon. So I'm going to see if I can go up here and get you guys some footage. So hang tight. Don't go nowhere. Alright, I got the trailer in tow. We're on our way to go rescue Paul. Time to go save him, since I definitely put her in the groove for sure. She was ready to go. She was on a mission. And it was gonna be on a mission. Let me rephrase that. It was gonna be on a mission. I had him in the sticky, and the differential said nope. So what I'm guessing is it ended up breaking the spider gears inside the diff. That appears to be pretty consistent with the type of damage that it's got. I don't think it was a ring gear. I think it was spider gears. So we'll see what we can do about getting that repaired pretty fast, and hopefully get it back on the road this weekend. That'd be nice. But first things first, let's go pick Paul up. Make sure you guys come back and check out the video where all the damage is unveiled on Paul's car. You guys get to see what he runs. You get to see what he broke, how he broke it. I mean, that sucker, she was getting ready to go or blow, and she blew. But we already got it back together. We already got it fixed. So you have to come back, check out the video on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. See us getting that thing apart and fixed, which we got really lucky. I happen to have everything just to fix it back with a better gear ratio. So we will have a better gear ratio from now on. Car was a factory 355 gear. You don't want 355s. You really want 331s. That's the factory base model gear. Is the best gear. It was the best of all of them. So we ended up switching up to a 331. So that's the only thing I'm going to tell you about that video. Otherwise, come back Thursday, check it out. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, tell us what you want to see next, what you want us to do, what project you want us to start on next, whatever. Just something, anything's helpful, and I enjoy the conversation. If you can't tell, I could talk to myself all day long. I do it already, so I know I can do it all day long. So anything that you guys think of, feel free to throw it out there. We love to hear it. As always, make better choices. Like, don't modify your daily, and don't break your race car. More importantly, don't break your daily race car, because that's exactly what we did in Thursday's video. I'll see you guys then. Peace.